The 2023 Hyundai IONIQ 5 is a small electric crossover SUV sold in 4 trims: SE Standard Range, SE, Cell and Limited. All except the SE Standard Range can be had in rear or all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive IONIQ 5 uses a single electric motor located at the rear axle. It produces 168 horsepower and 258 pounds-to-foot of torque in the SE Standard Range trim level. The motor makes 225 horsepower in all other models. The AWD version adds a second motor at the front axle, for a combined total of 320 horsepower and 446 pounds-to-foot. The SE Standard Range is powered by a battery pack with 58 kilowatt-hours of capacity, affording it an EPA range estimate of 220 miles. All others use a 77.4 kilowatt-hour pack. Rear-wheel drive models with this larger pack enjoy 303 miles of EPA estimated range, while opting for AWD reduces range to 266 miles. Going big will get you home when it comes to the 2023 IONIQ 5. That's why we'd recommend the rear drive cell trim with an EPA estimated 303 miles of range and 225 horsepower, for well under $50,000. It comes standard with a hands-free power liftgate, artificial leather upholstery, ambient interior lighting, a heated steering wheel, wireless charging, and more. For 2023, a battery heating system is now standard for all models instead of only all-wheel drive versions, and a battery preconditioning function is newly available. It prepares the battery for faster charging if an EV fast charger is set as a destination in the navigation system. Highs: undeniably distinctive design, rapid fast charging capability, entertaining to drive and rides really well. Lows: not a lot of space in the frunk, surprisingly wide turning circle, no wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The IONIQ 5 is an easy EV to get acquainted with and makes a great daily driver. With the dual electric motor setup, which is what we tested, the IONIQ 5 provides excellent traction and smooth and responsive acceleration. In our testing, this AWD IONIQ 5 sprinted from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.7 seconds, slightly edging out the Tesla Model Y long range. It was also well ahead of a comparable Ford Mustang Mach-E model. Around town driving is smooth and easy. The amount of regenerative braking, this is where an EV slows down after you let off the accelerator and helps recharge the battery pack, is adjustable, so you can dial in the amount you prefer. The switch to the regular friction brakes is also so smooth that you'll likely never notice. Another pleasant surprise is the IONIQ 5's handling. You can hustle this EV around turns and actually have some fun doing it. As the IONIQ 5 just debuted last year, Hyundai makes subtle equipment changes. A battery heating system and preconditioning function are now standard on all models. Finally, in the rare chance you tow something with the IONIQ 5, know that the maximum tow rating for Cell and Limited models is up to 2,300 pounds. It comes standard with a hands-free power liftgate, artificial leather upholstery, ambient interior lighting, a heated steering wheel, wireless charging, and more. The IONIQ 5 has an electric-only powertrain that's available in multiple potencies. The standard range battery paired with a single, rear-mounted electric motor generates 168 horsepower. With the longer range battery, the rear drive configuration generates 225 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, which Hyundai says will propel the IONIQ 5 to 60 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds. The all-wheel drive version is much more powerful, with 320 horses and a substantial 446 pound-feet, and quicker, too. With the standard 58.0 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the IONIQ 5 is estimated to provide 220 miles of range. The larger 77.4 kilowatt-hour pack is rated at 266 miles with dual motors and 303 miles with a single motor. The dual-motor model went 210 miles on a full charge on a 75 mile per hour real-world range test. When it comes to charging, Hyundai says the larger battery can be replenished from 10 to 80% in around 18 minutes when plugged into a DC fast charger. It's also said to add 68 miles in about 5 minutes. We tested this claim and confirmed that the IONIQ 5 can indeed be charged this quickly. The IONIQ 5 with the long-range battery and rear-wheel drive has a combined EPA rating of 114 mph, adding all-wheel drive drops that estimate to 101 mph, up from 98 last year. With rear-wheel drive and standard range battery, the battery electric SUV is expected to get 113 mph combined. While not as artsy as the cabin teased by the Hyundai 45 concept, the IONIQ 5's interior boasts a tech-savvy space with a digitized dashboard and a heavy dose of eco-friendly materials. A head-up display with augmented reality that can project navigation directions on the windshield is just one fanciful feature. The compact crossover also takes advantage of its all-electric packaging, with a completely flat floor for maximum passenger and cargo space. The rest of the interior is just as straightforward. There's plenty of space in both rows for adults. The backrest of the rear seats reclines, which allows rear passengers to lounge around and chill out in near silence as they're ferried along. The only downside is visibility. The view out of the front is vast, but the thick rear roof pillars create relatively large blind spots. Getting the available surround view camera system can help out. The front seats also recline and incorporate footrests, which will let folks relax while the IONIQ is charging. With a wheelbase that's longer than the 3-row Hyundai Palisade, the 5 has ample front and rear seat passenger room. Its large center console has lots of storage space, and on top spec limited trims, it slides back and forth between the front seats. We also managed to fit 6 carry-on bags behind the back seats. For reference, the hybrid Hyundai Tucson compact SUV maxed out at 22. Hyundai says the IONIQ sub-brand emphasizes connected living, and the IONIQ 5 has a host of innovative infotainment and connectivity features. A 12.0-inch touchscreen shares a panel on the dash with a 12.0-inch digital gauge cluster, but the former acts as a hub for all things entertainment. This includes advanced voice recognition software and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Unfortunately, Apple and Android's smartphone integration requires wires. Key safety features should likely include available forward collision warning and automated emergency braking, available lane departure warning and lane keeping assist, available adaptive cruise control. There are a few minor drawbacks to Hyundai's IONIQ 5, but on the whole it's a great pick for an electric SUV.